It's been about a month now that I've been playing Valorant, and when I started the game, I was absolutely terrible at aiming, having never played any FPS games before in my life. But that was the challenge, and instead of giving up, I've turned to the data to help me improve. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how I went from missing every shot to landing headshots consistently. And it's all by tracking my progress and using the right strategies. This series is about tracking my journey as a complete beginner to learn and improve in Valorant. I want to be brutally honest as to my weaknesses and what I'm bad at, so the viewers and the data can help me improve. In this episode, I'm going to break down how I improve my aim over 30 days using the data-driven approach, and I'll give you tips on how you can apply the same strats. I really love the idea of the same people sharing the journey with me. I'm a small channel, so every viewer really means a lot, so please feel free to subscribe. In the first couple of weeks, it was just fixing the really obvious stuff that made me bad. Kinda like this. I don't know what I'm doing. Clear myself. Things like not shooting while moving. The main reason I died though was I'd often just charge around corners and take on more than one player at the same time, which obviously now I know is a very stupid idea. But also the more mental stuff, like learning to be calm under pressure like I was here.
Side free.
One enemy remaining.
Nice.
Clutch.
I didn't know that my heart could beat out of my asshole, but I think I found a fucking way. Holy shit. But when it came down to it, and when all those basic things got fixed, I was still left with the elephant in the room, and that was my aim. Fuck my life. Right. Let's do... Oh, I'm gonna suck so bad at this. Oh my god. If you look at my headshot percentage during the first act, it was really low. At the same time, if you look at my kill to death ratio during that time, was also really low. As you can see, I was constantly missing shots, failing to land headshots, my accuracy was all over the place, and I was struggling to even contribute in most of the games that I played. So obviously I needed to improve my aim. So for the first 2 weeks I logged into the Aim Beast, which is on Steam. It's an aim training software, and I just did like the basic playlist drills that they recommended. And I did see progress, as you can see in this graph. Obviously when you're first starting aim training you're going to see kind of a little bit of progress anyway, but I was improving over time, so my aim was improving theoretically. And then on top of that I would go to the practice range and just basically shoot bots on easy and medium over and over and over again. So very basic aim training for the first couple of weeks. So at the end of those 2 weeks, I'd sort of learnt the basics, you know, like I was peeking better, I was like trying to aim better, I wasn't taking on multiple opponents, I generally wasn't doing the most obviously stupid stuff, but I was still losing most of my duels. I guess I put sort of marginal effort into my training and I got compensated by a marginal improvement in my scores.
Cypher on the other team said you guys should uninstall.
What?
Cypher on the other team said you guys should uninstall.
So that was that. For the next 2 weeks, I did intensive training. I did 40 minutes of aim training following Charlemagne's training program, who's like a Radiant coach. I'll put the links in the description. He has an Aim Labs and a Kovacs one. I do the Kovacs one day and an Aim Labs one the next day. Kovacs one I think is a little bit harder. One of the things I've learned is I'm very good at tracking targets. I always get a high score when I'm tracking, but I'm terrible at flick shots, which you can see here. I miss them all the time. On top of that, I did 40 minutes in the practice range, also following Charlatan's training regime. All of the drills I found really helpful, but the most helpful one at this stage in my training was being able to learn to move and strafe my, opponent, in quotation marks, and then while I'm strafing, aiming at them, and then stopping really briefly and shooting at their head. I found that really helped. I like aim training because it supports your aim and improves it, but this is sort of moving into the it's a little bit more practical. You know, you can see that if something's strafing and you're trying to move and aim for the head, how important that is. And then I would do 30 minutes of Deathmatch. So this is where your aiming is still going to be getting improved, but also your game sense. And I just tried to be as aggressive as I could be. I ran around the corners. I was looking for jewels. I wasn't trying to be all like crafty and hide in the corner. I wanted those fights because I wanted to improve. But you can definitely see how that practice range strafing helped in the deathmatch. You can see here, this guy's shooting at me. I move to the right, and while I'm moving, I aim my gun at his head and then just shoot him dead. And then for 30 minutes every day, I do gameplay review and look at what I'm doing wrong and what I'm doing right. Okay, so for example, the first thing I did when I recorded the gameplay for Deathmatch is I recorded whether they aimed for the head or I didn't aim for the head. And then I recorded the outcome of the fight, so did I die or did I kill them? And I only included it when we were duels, so we were both firing at each other. I didn't include it if I just got shot in the back or something. Or I shot them in the back. And it was kind of interesting because I thought I was aiming at their head. After the first day of doing the gameplay review, I was like, I'm not going to get much out of this. I'm aiming at their head. And then when I looked at the gameplay, I realized I might have been thinking I was aiming for their head, but I wasn't aiming for their head. And so then the next day, I was like, okay, make sure you aim for the head this time. And then I saw a significant improvement in my ability to get kills. So when I actually looked at the data, it was kind of interesting. 75% of the time when I died, it was when I wasn't aiming at their head. So they obviously did aim at my head and I didn't aim at their head, therefore I died. Every now and then, obviously, the people are better than you, and so you might be aiming at their head, but they're just quicker. But this is like the basis. This is me starting out. This is me like learning the basics. So the other thing I found was every time I killed someone, I literally hit them in the head. If I didn't aim for their head, I never killed anyone. I didn't include any fights that were kind of like within 5 meters, that close range. So that's probably why you're not, because if those were, I'd just be bursting on them and I probably would kill them without aiming for the head. So that's just a little bit of a caveat. Okay, so I wanted to show you my improvement after training and before it. So I'm going to show you the kills from all my... I did team matches at the start in the first couple of weeks, so that's what I've got. But I'm going to show you all my kills from week 1 because there weren't that many. Then I'm going to show you all my kills from week 2 in the team deathmatch. And then I'm going to show you my kills in week 4 from the death matches, and you will after training basically, and you'll see how that training really helped and how it's just, I feel like there's a big improvement.
Try that guy.
Enemy.
Some people better than me, that's for sure.
Like just then I saw these two.
Take it. Hold it. Gotcha.
Holy shit. I'm doing good.
1 kill remaining.
Now, interestingly, it took a little while for this to... Seems like it took a little while for this to reflect in my actual games, my ranked games, and my unranked games, not the death matches. Up until the 14th of September, which is like, you know, 5 days ago as I record this video, you can see I'm not getting like super high kills, and I'm dying kind of a lot. Like you can see here, ISO at the very top, I got 9 kills and 11 deaths, 7 kills and 3 deaths, 5 kills and 5 deaths, 6 kills and 16 deaths, and this kind of repeats itself, you know, permanently throughout my record. I was recording all my matches in an Excel spreadsheet because I have two accounts, and so these were the last 4 matches that you saw with the Reyna and the 3 ISO matches that I just showed you, and then literally this purple bar here represents like it was literally overnight I just suddenly started doing well. You can see I go from, you know, 6 kills, 16 deaths, 5 kills, 5 deaths, 7 kills, 3 deaths, 9 kills, 11 deaths, and then all of a sudden I wake up the next day and I'm getting 12 kills, 14 deaths, 19 kills, 17 deaths, 18 kills, 12 deaths. And it's like, even on my other account and on my unranked games, you know, 24 kills, 8 deaths. Okay, 10 kills, 20 deaths isn't that great. I kind of dropped the ball a little bit there. But 12 kills, 5 deaths, 19 kills, 9 deaths, 20 kills, 14 deaths. It was just like, all of a sudden, all that training had just kicked in. And I was starting to, like, pop in ranked matches, which was absolutely incredible. If you actually include all of these matches together after the purple line, I'm getting a kill to death ratio of 0.92. Now, although that's not perfect, after, you know, 2 weeks of training, my kill to death ratio was 0.5, and now I've pulled it up to almost 1 in the space of 2 weeks of training. Here's another look at that kill to death ratio over the last few days. So, you know, it's not perfect, and obviously I can do better, but it does show that that kind of data-driven approach seems to work. Well, it worked for me. So next week I'm going to be looking at what the best approach is to improving as an iron to kind of gold or maybe a higher player. There seems to be 2 theories. One is just to focus on someone like ISO or Reyna and improve your mechanics through just finding fights and getting in lots of fights. But then there's other people that disagree with that, saying that this is the perfect time to learn game sense, the maps, and that aiming is actually only a small part of the game. And so I'm gonna try a little bit of both and see which one I get the most progress on, record the data, and then come back to you with those results. I'm still stuck in iron hell, so hopefully all this data analyzing and training and stuff can get me out of it. You guys are an integral part in the process. You've got to tell me what I'm doing wrong so I know what to improve on. So please subscribe if you want to see me improve on the series. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all later. I'll leave you with one of the matches that I had on Reyna just to wrap the video up, so enjoy. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye-bye.
Tossing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out.
Last player standing. 1 enemy remaining. One enemy.
Still in sight.
Enemy spotted B.
Still in sight. Cutting their vision.
No! Oh my god,
One
it
enemy
made me
remaining.
start doing my fucking skill.
Monster on the loose.
Fuck.
Last player standing.
Cutting their vision.
planted. One enemy remaining. Attackers win.
No.